J Show begins now. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show. My name, of course, is Jay. I'd like to thank you and you for tuning in today to the very, very first inaugural episode of J Show. I am Jay, so this show will be whatever the fuck I want it to be. I don't expect you to like it. I don't expect you to like it. But you know what? I think you might like it. So a couple of things that we're going to do on the show. I'm going to try to do sketches and segments and anything else that comes off the top of the head that I feel like might be fun to do, say, play. I know today's episode, we got a few things lined up. First thing that we're going to have lined up is called the Thoughts Block. The Thoughts Block is going to be 5 questions from people like you and you out there on the internet that will ask me questions, and I will just say one simple thing. What do you want to talk about? And then whatever you want to talk about is what will be in the Thoughts Block. So follow me on social medias, and we'll get your questions up there, and I can tell you exactly how I feel about that subject. I guarantee you I will probably offend you. I don't particularly care if I offend you. I'm not too worried about it. I don't think my 6 subscribers would really mind either. So another thing that we're going to be doing is I'm going to be doing a couple gaming streams. I'm definitely going to be doing a recurring segment on the show called Watch Me Be Bad at Video Games. Now, most channels are going to show you, the 30 seconds and an entire 8-hour block of them playing video games that they actually did well. I'm going to do the opposite. I am going to show you all the bullshit. Every time I suck, when I make terrible decisions, when I cost my team the win. Just watch me be bad at video games. That'll be a fun segment. I know today we've got a premiere of my band's lyric video. We're putting up a lyric video for a song called The Dark Exile, which is Star Wars themed, so stick around for that later in the episode. And on top of that, I'm pretty sure that's about all you need to know to get the show started. So let's fucking get it going. Episode 1. Welcome to today's Thoughts Block. Today's Thoughts Block is going to be a rather interesting one. It's the first one. I have no idea how this segment's going to go. Just kind of wing it, see what happens. So, Thoughts Block is when I'm going to take 5 things every episode, and I'm going to talk about those 5 things however I want to talk about them. I don't know if I'm going to be offending you. I don't know if I'm going to be complete agreement with you. I don't care. I'm going to tell you what I think about those subjects. I'm going to always accept some silly questions, and I'm also going to accept some ridiculous questions. And hello, welcome to today's Thoughts Block. As this is the first episode, you don't know what the Thoughts Block is. The Thoughts Block is going to be me taking 5 topics or questions that people have asked me on the internet. Some absolutely silly, some absolutely awesome. So what I'm going to do with those questions and topics is talk about them. I don't think you need more of an explanation than that, right? It's pretty good. Everybody ready to go? All right. So first off today, I got a pretty ridiculous one that at the time was kind of ridiculous and now is kind of interesting. And that would be my buddy Ben asked me, what's up with the high price of tea in China? Well, the high price of tea in China right now, I mean, why do I get to make this TV show? Because we're all stuck inside of a crazy virus that started in China. I can't imagine that goods are not horrible prices right now. I mean, see what's happening here. Imagine when there's, what do they have, like 100 times the people in China? Something like that. I don't know. All I know is that I'm not a big fan of the coronavirus. I'm not really a fan of viruses. The thing that really worries me about this virus is viruses have a tendency to mutate. And right now, it's really only kind of killing, old people, sick people, things like that. And it's sad to say, but I mean, that's what's happening. And unfortunately, viruses change. What if the virus decides it's going to kill everybody? Just taking a quick break from Thoughts Blocks. Talk about our sponsor today. It's brought to you by lighters. You ever tried to light a cigarette or a blunt without a lighter? It's ridiculously complicated if you do. On with the show. I'm going to do the first three are all going to be the silly ones. So number 2 now is from Mike Dietzman, Buffalo, New York. He wrote in, "Why do boobs have a stranglehold on us men?" I don't know. I have no idea. They're beautiful. 2 of them right next to each other with a space in the middle. How could you even want anything else? It's great. But then you're going to get into the debate of what's better, boobs or butt. I like both. I've had girls that had big boobs. I had girls that had big butts. And I can't lie on either. They're all fantastic. I think you ladies are the ones that freak out about differences like that more than guys do. Because I've dated skinny girls, fat girls, ugly girls, hot girls, redheads, brunettes, blondes, a couple different races as well. Like, all of it. It's all great. I don't know what you guys are so worried about. Which actually kind of ties us in to number 3. One of my good friends, Joe Ortega, decided to ask me, why do bitches be tripping? I actually know Joe fairly well. I mean, him actually had a discussion a while back about the fact that as I've gotten older in my life, I'm actually trying to not use specific words anymore. One of them actually is bitches when referring to ladies. That's what I'm trying to say instead. I'm trying to say ladies. I feel like ladies is the better terminology to use for that. But why do they be tripping? Why do ladies be tripping? That's a real good question. And honestly, I'm a single man. I can't really tell you. The only thing I can say for sure is it's one of the only things in the world that I know to be true. I feel like all ladies are crazy, but you got to find a level of crazy that you can tolerate, right? You know what I mean? Like what kind of like if you're loud and you're volatile, a girl who's loud and volatile will be like right in your wheelhouse. It's be perfect for you. Whereas someone like myself, who's a little more reserved and only likes to while out every now and then, kind of when the occasion calls for it, if I'm with a girl who 7 days a week has to be going out and just going ham, that's not going to work out. But also, if I'm with a girl and she wants to stay home 7 days a week, be ridiculously introverted, like I play in a band. Like I like going to shows. I like playing shows. I really love public video games. It's one thing I really wish there was more of, like, in today's society. But the way I look at it is it's both men and women's fault. They're both equally dumb. Ooh, check it out. I made you an example.
Oh my god, I wish I could just find like a nice guy. Oh my god, I totally have like 4 kids from this and no job, and I will totally mooch off of you. Oh my god, like, could you totally get me pregnant and then maybe cheat on me afterwards? Dude.
So, yeah, that was that. That's kind of how men and women treat each other. They're not, I don't know. Something happened in my lifetime. I think Jesse Leach from Kill Switch really wrote it best. He asked a question. I think he asked the question of all of society when he asked it. Why have we forsaken love? It's a tough thing because a lot of people will argue that love doesn't exist. But if love doesn't exist, then why has it been a constant theme in humanity since the beginning of written word? As soon as we could remember, there has just been wars fought, stories written, movies acted about, like everything you can think of based off of love. If it's not a thing, then there's a whole lot of people in the world who think that it is. And I just wish y'all would treat each other better. Because that thing right there that we just watched, I've seen that like 100 times. Like, make better choices, people. Just make better choices. If you're talking to an idiot, they're probably an idiot. That's just kind of what happens. Sometimes people are just dumb, and you got to kind of deal with it. Coming up next, that's Earl, buddy of mine, way back. I watched that dude jump out a second-story window. Yeah, he was distraught. Crazy stuff. Fun day, though. He was a fun guy. We used to hang out back in the day. Actually, if I'm not mistaken, somewhere in the world is a video of me hitting him with a parking cone. Like, in the face. It's pretty good. It was a pretty good video. It was funny. It was the jackass days. We're still cool. We're still friends. But he asked about the lack of work ethic in America. And I don't really agree that there is a lack of work ethic. I'm actually going to use my buddy Joe as an example. My buddy Joe, the guy who asked, why do bitches be tripping? He's in his early 20s. He's with a very lovely young lady. He works damn near 2 full-time jobs. He works a full-time job with me and then also works like a, 3/4 full-time other job. And he's doing that so that he can try to build up early. And a lot of these younger kids are the same way. Most of the people that I know are struggling and working 2 to 3 jobs just to get by. My Facebook, since this coronavirus shutdown, has been riddled with people saying, oh my God, all 3 of my jobs I can't go to anymore. How am I going to support this and that and everything? It's a crazy situation, and I don't want to particularly get into that entire situation, at least not in any more depth than I already have. It terrifies me. Viruses terrify me. But I don't really see a lack of work ethic in today's society. I mean, it kinda. I mean, I see a lot of younger generation as well that like, I think they're just starting to specialize more. It's like, you can't get a kid who only cares about, the engineering degree that he's working towards or something like that to give a shit about coffee. Everybody's specialized nowadays. They only focus on what they focus on. Like I play guitar, so I spend a lot of time on guitar stuff. So other things, national media events, things like that, very often slip my mind or just pass me completely by, and I don't even hear them or see them. And that's just kind of the way it goes. I don't really see a lack of work ethic. I mean, we're in one of those strange times where, like, I think people just do what they want, and a percentage of the population is going to want to not do anything. I don't know. I've always been working. I try to keep it to one job so that I don't bury myself in an avalanche of physical pain and exhaustion. But I've worked multiple jobs from time to time in my life just to get by. So I don't know. Hopefully those younger kids you're working with will get better at the job and help you out or something like that. Because I will tell you, that's fucking whack, dude. Like if you work, like I've been there, man. I worked in the kitchen industry for 12 years, and if you got a bunch of people working with you that don't know how to do the job, it makes the job tough. And I know some of you out there know exactly what I'm talking about. So before I go down a long and dark road about some bullshit like that, I'm just going to skip right on past the rest of that question and say, Earl, I don't really see a lack of work ethic, but I do know what you mean. I think maybe you just got unlucky and worked with, a couple of dullards, a couple of fucking potato rubes, you know what I mean? Fucking idiots. What else are you going to call them? Just taking a break from Thoughts Blocks to let you know that this coming up in a little bit. And the last one comes from a buddy of mine, Trent Cook, from the band D-Brained out of Buffalo, New York. They are super heavy, super talented, super young. You guys should check those guys out. They are a bunch of fucking early 20s dudes that are throwing down metal at a level that, like, most of us adults aren't hitting at. I know both guitarists in this band are kind of hitting a point now where it's like they're going to surpass me and I'm damn near 50 years older than them. That's bullshit, dude. Not literally 50, but a fucking shit ton. But yeah, no, these guys are fucking sick. D-Brain, check them out. But he actually asked, what is the meaning of us being on Earth? Now, that's a real interesting one to me, because most people actually flip right to religion. And I actually just kind of think about how special and rare the gift of life is. That's why a lot of the things that I like to do are outside in the trees and nature. I like the competitive aspect of like the human being. That's one of the main reasons why I kind of love sports and things like that. Like I don't know, something about perfectly executed play in a sport is beautiful to me. Perfectly executed riff by your fucking sick ass band, Trent, is beautiful to me. And I think that's really what us being on Earth is all about. I think life is so rare and so special that because you only get this one life, you have to try to find all of the beauty in it that you can. There's beauty everywhere. Horrific things everywhere as well. So keep your eye out for that stuff. Never be above a throat punch or two, things like that. But I think we're supposed to be here because of how rare and special this planet is. Millions of years of cosmic dust swirling together at just the right temperature, speed, location, gravity, like all of it just coming together, which is why I don't think we're alone, because those variables have to come up again elsewhere in the universe if it's ever expanding and super large. But I don't know. I'm really hoping that, that we can all just kind of maybe sit down during this stupid virus. I mean, if you've made it this far through Thoughts Blocks, then shit, you're stronger than me because I'm pretty stupid. And I don't even know if I'm any good at this whole thing. Why would you want to listen to what I have to say? But I think the meaning of being here is that we're so special. We have to experience all of the beauty that we can, which is why right now everybody inside is going stir crazy and feeling nuts. Because it's one thing to listen to music or see a picture of a painting or, anything that's just beautiful, flowers, things like that. When you're stuck in your house, you can't go see a painting in a museum that's hung and lighted specifically so that you can see the individual brush strokes of each single pass of the painter's brush on that thing. When you're listening to a song at home, it's great. Dancing around in your house to metal, for me, headbanging, stuff like that. If you're sitting around and you're listening to, Post Malone and New Age hip hop and indie rock and things like that, which is, I would say, what the majority of America's listening to at this point, then, it's great. You're experiencing music, feels awesome. But it's different when you immerse yourself in it. And I think this coronavirus is actually taking away the entire meaning of what it is to be human on Earth. We're supposed to experience it. When you experience music, you don't just listen to it. When you experience it, you're in a show, you're feeling it with other people. You can feel the physical reverberations of music hitting you coming out of the loudspeakers. You can feel the hair on your arms rise when that singer hits that high note, that fucking that crazy good stuff. It's taken away right now from the meaning of what it is to be human on Earth. And I think that's the meaning. Just find as much beauty in the world as you can. That's it. As much as you can. This next segment is called Favorite Fucking Riffs. Today I've got Codi Newkirk from Elwood, Pennsylvania. He plays in a band called Whitethrash. They're a thrash metal band. I thought it was such a clever use to make up the name. Like white trash, white thrash. Love it. Absolutely hilarious. Great guitar player. When I saw him play, he's a guitarist by himself in a relatively heavy metal band. And I don't know, my band has two. Sometimes I feel like you need more than two guitars. But this kid shreds enough to have one. So I asked him a couple of questions. I said, hey Codi, what's your favorite riff?
Favorite riff of mine. Closing riff, Waters Rising. Poser Exposer album.
I got another question for you. You think you'll ever write a better riff than that? Or is that the best thing you'll ever write?
Do I ever think I'll write a better one? I don't know. I hope so.
Okay, last one. Who do you think writes the best riffs?
Best riff, there's so many. Probably, I'm going to give it to Kirk, man, from Crowbar, the riff lord himself. I think that dude's a beast. I mean, I have countless other ones, but I just want to say king of the riff.
Not bad. All right. So, here it is, guys. Here's his favorite riff from his band, which means he wrote that with his magical hands, and his magical hands wrote this.
Headshot. Oh my god, dude. No. Don't hurt me. I don't have a video. I'm gonna get eyes on it. Oh my god, bro. I don't have plates. Any plates left? Bring on. Got pushed, dudes. Please don't. Right here. Right now, blue mark. There might be guys coming out of the house to our left. Be aware of that. Yep, house on the left. Dudes, house on the left. Close.
He's down. One's down.
I'm down. Right next to you. He's fucking right next to you. Oh my god. Jay, crawl down this way if you can.
I have no plates, dude.
There any places spare? Up down.
One.
Down, right here. Right here.
One's down.
To the right.
Oh, one's down.
Oh. We're crawling through one time. I'm gonna pick you up, you pick him up. Boys, it's a 3v2. Me2. Be real careful.
I hear someone jumping in. Someone jumping in right now.
It's in a car. Just light this fucking car up. We can't allow him to fucking run us over.
Got him. Team wipe.
Cover that spot. I'm picking him up.
I got him.
Let's go, boys.
Oh my goodness.
Dude, how fucking sweaty was that?
Dude, so sweaty.
Thank you for watching.